Hello and welcome to InSight. I'm Wendy Brokaw.
And I'm Louise VanNatta.
We are going to get comfortable with a very uncomfortable subject, blindness, losing your sight, that whole feeling of how do I deal with it if it's me? What do I do if I meet somebody who is blind? We're going to be talking with somebody who can answer all those questions and more. To help us navigate these uncharted waters for some or very daunting for others is Marja Byers, the Executive Director of Blindskills. Blindskills have been helping folks for over 30 years, and I'm so glad you are here to help us understand. Would you do something for us right now?
Sure.
You are blind.
Yes, correct.
And what is it that people don't understand about what it is to be blind? Bust some myths for us, because I'm sure they're out there. You've heard it all.
Oh, yeah. Well, most people's assumption is if you use a white cane or a guide dog, you have no vision at all, which is the farthest thing from the truth.
Really?
Federal government defines legal blindness of having an acuity, a clarity of your vision of 2200 or worse, or 20 degrees field of vision, and I'm field of vision. I've got right at 20 degrees. My acuity, the clarity with which I see, is actually very good, and it's confusing to people that I use a cane, but I can read a menu in a restaurant, I can read bus schedules, and I've been asked a number of times. Actually, my favorite question was, well, what kind of blind are you? And I looked at the guy and I said, lucky. But as has been pointed out to me, there's pluses and negatives to any kind of vision that you have. And blindness can be anything from someone like me to someone like my boss, who is totally blind with a little bit of light perception in one eye. And other people are completely black and see absolutely nothing. But there is this huge spectrum of blindness that people don't understand.
What does Blindskills do for people who are trying to understand their own circumstance or that of a friend or a family member? What does it exist to do?
Well, when we have somebody new that contacts our office, I will ask if it's the person themselves, what kind of services, if any, they've tried to get, talking books, have they talked to the Oregon Commission for the Blind, trying to figure out what kind of help they need. And a big piece of what we offer is peer support. We now have 2 support groups because I saw a real need to have one group where we just sit and talk and another one where we have programs or speakers or topics. There's a need for both. And frankly, our numbers are growing so fast in our support group that it's very clear that we need both. And that peer support, that's what I started at Blindskills, was to get there for support group, because when it's the first time that you're able to talk to other people who know what it's like to lose vision, all of a sudden it changes everything. It changes your perspective.
We have a video of just that sort of group, and I'd like us to take a little bit of a look at that.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
it's taken
please.
at the Blindskills headquarters here in town on State Street at the Micah building, and let's just take a look at it. I think it speaks for itself.
One of the things that we're going to do at this meeting is just to give a person an idea of what might work in an emergency kit for 72 hours. Blindskills fills the information gap that almost certainly will exist for anybody who suddenly discovers that they're going to have to live with diminishing vision or with no vision at all.
I still have vision good enough to drive and to get around, but boy, I have a shelf life on it, and I know that every day that I use it, I can see that it's diminishing.
For those of you that don't know, I'm also hard of hearing, along with having visual impairment issues. So that's been making dealing with visual loss quite interesting at times.
So I've had to have a little bit of help, but I also don't want to lose my independence, because I have been an artist and I have an art studio, and I have a hard time giving that up.
It's not necessarily the end of the world as you think it is right now. It might just be the beginning of a different way to live, a different way to have a fulfilling life.
And I found out that the ability that I had to be an artist, I didn't lose. I thought maybe with my eyesight it went out the window, but evidently it didn't. So now I've decided to paint abstract instead of realistic, and so I'm busy all the time.
I see others who have dealt with their challenges, and it helps me out a lot.
You folks give me help because you have courage like I have never encountered anywhere. And I thank you for that.
Wow, that's beautiful. Marge's story, beautiful.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Very inspiring.
It sounds like Blindskills offers a lot for people when they really need it. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Maybe a person that's really benefited from a relationship with Blindskills.
Well, and one of the reasons that I love working at Blindskills is we're not a government agency, we aren't politically affiliated, so there are no forms to fill out. There's no waiting list. You don't have to prove vision loss. If you've had vision loss negatively affect your life, come and talk to us. We'll help you any way we can. And oh my gosh, there's so many, from Marge, who went blind at 90 and suddenly realized that her art was gone. And by coming to support group, hearing how other people are coping, she finally realized she's still capable. She just has to look at it differently.
I love that phrase. It's just looking at things differently. People can pick up the phone and call Blindskills for that kind of help from your hotline. Do you have a hotline?
Yeah, we have a 1-800 number. It's 800-861-4224. Locally, that's 503-581-4224. You can also get a hold of us on our website, and our website is blindskills.com.
Great.
And you can email us questions. You can call us if you have questions. We get calls from all over the U.S., Canada, and other countries as well.
Do you mean there just isn't that kind of organization outside of Blindskills? You're getting all of these.
They are few and far between, and one of the things that Blindskills offers is Dialogue Magazine, and that's how come we're known nationally and internationally.
What is Dialogue Magazine?
Dialogue Magazine is a magazine that is written primarily by people with vision loss, for people with vision loss, that covers everything from careers, recreation, personal stories, new devices, electronic improvements, apps, and things that are really relevant to our lives.
I would like to tell people a little bit about and hear a little bit of the music of one of the people long associated with Blindskills, and that is BT Kimbrough. Now, he was blinded from youth as a result of an accident. Am I correct?
Yes, he was 9 months old and took a tumble downstairs.
But that did not stop his love of music from blossoming and developing. And as a treat for everyone, I know he plays the pipe organ, and I know recently he did a concert, and I went over and recorded a little bit of his practice and was completely floored. So instead of going out of InSight today with our usual music, why don't we listen to BT?
That would be
And
great.
we'll say thank you for watching InSight, and we'll roll those credits.